So we've gone to the design menu and selected a new invoice. We'll go ahead and give it a name and then click next. On this screen, we select invoice as a starting point to modify. I'll choose the Swiss template as it's a fairly simple starting point. This next screen gives you an option to choose your paper size. The default is US letter. You can go to change and select a different paper size if you like. I'm just going to hit cancel and we'll leave this on US letter for now. So we're going to look at changing text alignment, but before that we can sort of explore the interface and get a sense about how to select different objects, resize them, and even move them around, just like any page layout app. So we'll select my identity box. This is where my business address shows up, and we'll double click to bring down the Edit Dynamic Text pane, where I can triple click to select all, and then change the alignment to left. So I'll double click on the invoice here, and this is static text, so it doesn't pop up a pane. So I'll change this text to be right aligned. So another easy tweak we could do to our invoices is to simply change the typeface. We'll select text and go into the fonts panel, and bring it up here so we can see what we're doing here, and then go ahead and select a different font, either from the built-in ones or something you download as a free web font. So I'll select Franklin Gothic and decide the weight I'd like it to have as well as the size using the standard macOS 10 font panel. So let's go back into the dynamic text window for the client address, and again we'll select our font, and then let's go to the spacing menu and select Other. In this pane you can adjust your line spacing in a much more controlled way. Under Line Height Multiple you can type in 1.3 times, and that opens up your line spacing just a bit without looking ridiculous like double spacing does. So we'll do the same thing with the My Identity box. Double click to get into the Edit Dynamic Text. And again, we'll select our font and adjust our spacing to be 1.3 times. So we have to adjust the fonts for every box on our invoice. So we'll go through and adjust the fonts for each of them. Okay, so lastly, we're going to look at changing row background colors. So let's select the first cell in our header row and disclose the Appearance tab. Now the cell looks black, but the Appearance parameter is certainly not displaying that. Let's go back and select the header row, and this time we can see that it selects the entire row and it definitely is showing me that black background fill. So we'll pull up the color palette here and increase the brightness up to 50% so we can start to see some colors. I can then select a hue from the color wheel. I don't know, maybe blue in this case. And then I can go to the brightness slider and brighten it up, maybe a touch. Another method for selecting colors is to use the sliders. Go in and click this tab and select the HSB sliders. And this gives you a saturation control, which you can then lighten up the amount of color you've selected there. Again, go down to the bottom of the window and select the header element so that you apply the color to the entire header row. You can drag a color down into the palette well below to save a preset, and then select each cell individually at the bottom of the Swiss template and modify its color so it matches up with the header row. So I hope that gives you some ideas for tweaking the existing designs to match your company's brand.